Hello people, I am Jaby KOAY, joined by CAMI Storm, and we're going to look at the Fakir of Venice, the official trailer with Farhan Akhtar, Annu Kapoor, with music by Rahman. It's directed by Annu Kapoor, and it comes out January 18th, which is very, very soon. Mark your calendars. Let's check this out. Here we go.
Oh, il FAKIR. How are you? Are you okay? Is he okay?
I think he's going into a trance and we should probably move him.
You will stand here in front of the public. You will tell them all the wonderful things about your country.
That way, it will feel more like the real thing, like the truth.
If you don't complete your assignment, we could sue you.
We've got a big job for you.
This Italian gallery calls us up and says they want a fakir.
बनारस में इस तरह के बाबा कंकड़ में बिखरे पड़े हैं. He is embarrassed death.
He has what?
Embarrassed death.
यहीं बैठ के सारे ब्रह्मांड की सैर करते हैं. चाहे तो टिकट कटवा लो.
ब्रह्मांड है कम. ये सांस कैसे लेता है?
रेती से हवा आती है ना.
कोई पेपर जो अरे बताए कि तू कौन है?
मैं तो मैं हूँ.
आप कुछ लेंगे?
एक गिर गया, माफ करना.
एक बार वेनिस देख लिया ना तो फिर चैन से बच सकते. तुझे पैसे कमाने हैं, तो जैसा मैं बोलता हूँ वैसा कर.
Sound of a holy man.
Very, very, very holy. He's from another dimension.
To meditate with His Holiness.
FAKIR.
पब्लिक समझ रही है कि इंडिया से कोई बड़ा स्वामी आया है. तू झूठ क्यों बोला?
झूठ तो हम दोनों ने बोला है.
Just make sure you finish the job, one way or another.
FAKIR, benvenuto a Venezia.
That's a very, very interesting story. I love movies that discuss religion and religious guru type people, especially when it's about con artistry and, you know, tricking people and stuff like that, because to me, I can never tell what is genuine passion for that religion or spiritual endeavor and what is just a con, what's just business, you know?
Sure, or it could be both.
Sure.
It made me laugh. I was the part where he's like taking all the bottles on the plane, I was like, oh, that's me.
Yeah, I think it's all
when
of
I find
us.
out it's free, I'm like, yes. I was kind of confused about what genre it was, because at first it started off and I was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of scary. And then it kind of like did this hard turn, which I liked actually, and was like comedy, and then there were aspects of still like drama at the end, and I was like, it had my attention definitely because of that, but I'm still kind of trying to figure it out.
Right, and that's fair enough, but what I like about it is it has my interest peaked for sure,
Yes.
and I definitely would like to watch it. I'm a little bit confused as well, but it has enough in there that I'm like, okay, I definitely would,
Oh, definitely.
you know, check this out in theaters. The reason why this speaks to me is because I'm always going into anything that has kind of spiritual overtones extremely skeptical every time. For instance, a friend of mine invited me to this thing on Sunday, which I kind of told you about off camera. It was a spiritual workshop thing. I have a lot of tension in the Jabbies, so I have a lot of things that need to be released sometimes. So I went to this thing, and the guy was like, you know, if you're skeptical, he goes, I was a skeptic. He's the guy who's like running the whole thing. I'm expecting some kind of guru-looking guy to show up, and this is just a dude in a shirt and shorts. I'm like, he's just like a dude, like I would find at Walmart or something like that. He's like talking people through this thing, and I can't help but go, how much money is this guy making off this thing? There's a lot of people in this room and they all paid a lot of money to be in this room. And like, there's a lot of money in this.
Right.
And like, how many times has he said the thing that he's saying right now in an effort to motivate people? Because he's like, this is the night, tonight is the night. And he kept saying it over and over again. I'm like, he's probably said that like 1,000 times. You know, I start breaking it apart. And so naturally, something like this that is like diving into the behind the scenes of what might make a fakir, a spiritual guru type person of some kind that a lot of people are looking towards for some kind of answer, for inspiration. It speaks to me. I'm like, yeah, that's the panic in my mind that's going on behind the scenes, that it's just to make $1 or a rupee or a euro or a pound. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think I can relate to that for sure, because that's exactly what I'd be thinking. Because I love motivational speakers and I love getting hyped up, and I'd be torn between like, believe it, or should I be skeptical, or, you know, how's this gonna work for me?
The way this is shot is also peculiar because it feels like an older film.
It does. I noticed that too.
I can't tell if it's the way it's shot or the way it's graded or a combination, but it definitely feels like a film that came out of the 70s.
Yeah, I like it though. I like that look to it because it's different and it feels
retro.
I don't know if vintage is the right word
vintage,
for it, but yeah, and I do like that look.
It almost makes it feel more timeless in a way. And they did kind of mention that as a thing. Because of the look of it, it's almost like this could have been made yesterday, could have been made 20 years ago. Like, you just have no idea.
It could totally fit in being made yesterday or 20 years ago.
Right.
It could make sense.
Well, the subject matter, like they're saying, is something that it's relevant today, it's relevant 500 years ago. It's one of those subject matters that it's been long debated. To what you were saying earlier about it being kind of scary, like there's this shot here at 13 seconds in where this guy looks like something out of Pulp Fiction, like a gimp.
I know, I was like, whoa.
I'm like, what's going on here, bruh? What you doing, man? One of the things that they were saying was that they can breathe through the sand, right?
Really?
Yeah, it was a subtitle. He said you could breathe through the sand, and
wow.
It's one of those things that, like, again, I start to question. I'm like, oh, that's how they do that. Like, it's actually stupid simple what they're doing. I know that this is probably real. I don't know, but like, you see these videos of monks who put the spears in their neck, and they bend the spear, they bend the stick until it snaps, and I'm like, I feel like there's a trick. I don't know.
Physics, or is it?
I don't know what the trick is. I haven't figured it out, but I feel like there's something there. If I had 2 rubber bands, I would show you a magic trick that a magician showed me how to do, where it's like the rubber bands go through each other, and it's like, it's all it's like magic to me. It's just like physics I don't understand yet, is how I look at it, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I don't know how they're doing it, how they're surviving the dirt, and it's like, it's simple. They you know.
Wait, I don't. So it's simple, but how would explain it to me? Because I guess
he's got a cloth over his face to prevent the dirt from going in his mouth.
Right.
The air is still passing through between the fine grains of sand.
Between the dirt. Okay.
Yeah, like the air is still passing through there, so he can breathe just fine. It's not comfortable.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's.
I think I'd be so claustrophobic.
Yeah, I would imagine it's incredibly unsettling. Yeah, claustrophobic is the perfect word to describe it. I had a friend who did one of those. I want to say cast, but I don't know if that's the right word. Where they, it's like a cast of your face.
A mask. Like they were making a mask or something.
Yeah, like almost like like they're making a mask, and they have to put a mold over your face. And my friend said that when they were doing it, they kept talking to him, going, "You're okay," like, and they kept saying it over and over again. He was confused as to why, and he realized after a while that you can go into a state of panic when you're just kind of trapped in that.
Yeah, especially for long periods of time.
That's one of the aspects of filmmaking that actually freaks me out, is like if you had to play a werewolf or something, they'd have to dress you up for 3 hours every day in that getup, you know?
Yeah. I have such respect for people that are like monster, like creatures for a living, because they'll sit for 7-8 hours in makeup and they're just so patient, and you know, and then this getup is so hot and they're sweating.
Yeah, imagine having to lay in dirt for several hours.
Yeah, that doesn't sound appealing to me. So respect for that as well.
We talked a little bit about the look earlier, but I also like the way it's shot. It's a very simple style of direction. The setting of it is really cool. I mean, it seems like Italy or something, but
It's very pretty.
I mean, it's Venice, so I would imagine it's Italy. I've been to Venice, and it is very pretty. The waters smell funky because they use motorized taxis on the water. It's like it's a lot of oil going into the water, so it smells a little bit funky. But once you get past that, it's still very beautiful.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth visiting if you guys can. I didn't see anything like this though in Venice, like fakirs. I didn't see any spiritual type people. All I saw in Venice were churches. This is actually kind of educational for me, if this is based in any sort of real life stuff.
Yeah, I also am in the same boat. I didn't know this was a part of of that culture.
I mean, most of what you see in Venice is Christian theology. You can't throw a stone without hitting a church in Venice. That's how densely packed it is with churches and stuff. It's beautiful. I'm not a Christian, but I find those structures to be very beautiful.
It's good for people who really like architecture.
Exactly. That doesn't seem to be what's indicated here. They didn't indicate anything Christian at all here. I'm very intrigued. I'd love to check it out. And I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. So let us know what you think in the comments below. Be honest, be verbose. Check out CAMI. Storm on the social media. She has a storm of photos. It's raining.
Good one.
Lots of photos on her Instagram. It's thunderously beautiful photos. I can't keep going with this. Dad jokes 101. Okay, I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
CAMI Storm.
Peace out.